Hey everyone, so excited tonight. Got a special guest, Coach Mitch Esquivel has decided to join us over here at the One Eye Scout with Tan TV. Uh, hey Mitch, why don't you give a bit of background about yourself, and then I'll start firing questions away at you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. First of all, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. It's always a tremendous honor to be on this. So I
Hmm.
appreciate that. Um, a little bit about me, background. Shoot, born and raised in San Antonio. So, been thrown into the basketball mix since I was little. Played for my uncle Jimmy Littleton over there at Reagan High School. So I'm a
Hmm.
Reagan grad, kind of a Northeast grad. That's kind of where my roots are. Uh, my granddad Jimmy Littleton, uh, the Littleton Gymnasium's named after him. So, just kind of hearing all the stories and listening to all the players that he had growing up, it was awesome to be part of. And then of course, being with my uncle, playing with my uncle, uh, you know, coming across his coach's style and kind of being thrown in the mix there. It was kind of a good childhood, good to be a part of, and always something sports related for sure.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, so you go off to college, you come back. I'm not sure when you began being a teacher. Uh,
Hmm.
as long as I've known you, you've been teaching.
Yeah.
You know. So tonight, man, I really want to focus on several things, but one right off the bat is what do you feel like is your role as an assistant coach on a campus such as Edison?
Sheesh. It's a lot. You know, you're wearing a lot of different hats as an assistant coach. Obviously, a lot of people say that you're their eyes and ears of the program, right?
Mhm.
That's what the assistant coaches are. They want you to get in the mix, understand the players, really kind of understand what ticks, how they tick, how they get going, what gets them going, kind of the things they're involved in at school, kind of who they're hanging around with. So I think that's a big part of it is understanding kind of your players, understanding kind of what they're about, getting to know them on a personal level. And I think that's big. That's big. That's first and foremost as an assistant coach. And then obviously just repeating the standards and uh, the culture that head coach wants to bring into the program. I think that's huge. Martin, I coach with some really good coaches, and Martin Cardenas and Charles Nunez, and we do a good job there at Edison, trying to build that culture, trying to build that work ethic and understanding how to compete and what that means, how to compete and, you know, the effort it takes, the energy it takes day in and day out, not just, on the court, but in the classroom. That's a big challenge that we face. And assistant coaches, we're in the classrooms, of course. That's how we get paid. That's how we make our money. um, but we got to be good. And I tell Martin, we talk all the time. We got to be good in the small things. You know what I mean? Like we got to be good. Just being on time, right? Going to class every day, doing the right thing, opening doors when you need to, right? Being polite, being respectful. If we can do all those little things, and a lot of it has to do with the campus culture, but and that's what we're really trying to do as teachers, as staff, as adults there is really trying to change that culture in campus and then have it trickle down to the athletics. But once we get those kids doing all the little things right, I think we're going to be able to, you're going to see the success on the court. You're going to see them buy into the program, buy into the culture, understand that's the standard. Standard is going to class, being on time, coming to work every day. Being consistent, being committed as a team, as an individual player. I think that's super important. But just relaying those goals from the head coach, and certainly that's our job. That's our number one job as coaches, assistant coaches too.
Yeah, I think you know here on Well, we're on my show, but when we're on the coffee break, sports edition, we do a lot of. We talk about Edison every week. You know, started out at such a high clip, had some sideways, and then finished in the playoffs. I told Martin I think that this group has turned a corner. Maybe not the whole corner, you know, but they never stopped fighting. They never stopped scrapping.
Sure.
Maybe a game here or there. So, what do you find is the most difficult piece of being an assistant coach, and why did you get started?
Well, I mean, I got started in coaching. I played myself, played all throughout high school, grew around, you know, two older brothers that played sports, very successful, all state players. One went on to play pro baseball, a couple of years in the minor leagues. Um, Both are still successful today, and they taught me to learn how to compete. And I think that's a big thing is learning these kids, teaching them how to compete, the right way and what that takes, the amount of effort that takes, the amount of focus it takes. Again, shoot, I went to Reagan, right? Reagan High School. So, stereotypical, oh, this guy, they have the resources, they have the support behind them in order, to do good. And all that's true. All that's true. I mean, we can, call it how it is, but, uh, dealing with all these circumstances that these kids deal with day in and day out, and we're talking about, stuff that is not at school, stuff is outside of school, them checking it at the door and kind of holding their pride in a sense and playing through that. I think it's crucial to tap into your players and understanding what's going on. There's some players that you can pull a little harder, and there's some players where you got to hold back a little bit. But the standard needs to remain the same. And it's difficult. It's difficult. You're dealing with situations that are outside your hands. You're dealing with kids that don't have that support system that are not used to adversity. You know what I mean? They don't know how to handle adversity. They see adversity and it's like their dog died or something. It's hard to get over. And uh, it's battling that, battling grades, battling the commitment it takes to be good. You can't just come twice a week and be think you're a playoff team. And I'm not saying we did that. We have guys that compete. We have guys that play hard. They show up every day and play the right way. A lot of our younger guys in the program, but and that's good to see. That's good to see because we're starting to do the things like you said. We're starting to turn that corner, do things the right way. Kids are starting to, do the things the right way. The locker rooms handle the right way. Uh, it's slow. It's slow. I'm telling you, it's slow. Obviously, it's been a while since we had success at Edison. Finally getting into playoffs. So I think it's just a stepping stone. From here, I think it's only going to go up. We have the players. We have the guys that can be playoff guys, a playoff team. Uh, we just got to keep working hard, man. And it's a lot of that is going to be dependent on the off season and kind of the growth we make there. But excited to see what's up for the future.
So, in talking and listening to you talk about the, your background, the difficulties. Now, let's talk about some of the rewarding things. Like what do you find specifically rewarding uh, within the program?
I think just working, making an impact and working with these kids every day. I mean, obviously these kids are coming from a different background than I was used to, brought up. I can't speak for yourself, but I'm not saying I didn't hurt in any means as far as, I felt like my parents always gave me, whatever they could give me. So in that sense, I didn't think I was without, but, you know, uh, having coaching, having went to school at Reagan High School, right? And kind of being a part of that culture and how that operates. And then, you know, coaching, coaching at Madison for several years, and that's a little different demographics, and then coming to Edison, where it's comparable demographics, but um, you're just dealing with, I mean, plain and simple, you're dealing with different kids. You're dealing with a different type of community, people, different beliefs, right? Different values. Uh, Sports may not be important, right? Sports may not be important to some of these families. It's not because it's not, it's just they have other priorities that they have to do. And I can't tell you how many athletes we've had, that come through Edison or take a look at Edison. We'll see them for a couple weeks or whatever. Um, Athletes that good players that we don't see all the time, and it's just they either just can't do the school thing, right, or they just don't have that support where they can do the right thing, and we just don't. It doesn't last too long.
Yeah. So that must be a really good feeling when those guys come through and they do stick around and you do make the playoffs and you've had a part of that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean the community. I mean, and for I feel like I'm giving excuses, but these kids are tough kids, right? I mean,
Hmm.
I notice these kids are tough kids. They go through a lot. Sometimes it's a struggle to get to school. Sometimes they're coming for the food. They're coming to get their breakfast and lunch, right? Their after school snack. They're not going to miss that. Uh, but all that they go through, and you still see kids doing it the right way and competing at a high level, right? Little 5'7", 5'6", 5'5" guys playing, you know, like they're 6'5", right? I mean, at least trying and competing like they're 6'5". It just, that's what draws me. That's what brings me back is, you know, just the amount of love, the passion that they have playing for the game, the amount of adversity that they go through day in and day out with the little resources that they have, in some cases, not all cases, but some cases, the little support that they have, uh, and still find a way to compete, have a good attitude, and be a good teammate and play the right way. I mean, that it just makes you feel good about what you do.
So let's step over into your role as a father and a soon-to-be husband. How do you make that balance work?
Jeez, I don't know if I'm the right person to ask for that. God, man, it's a battle.
I mean, just what makes it work for you? I mean,
I'm so thankful that I have a great support system, and my soon-to-be wife, Allie. She's tremendous. We just our baby boy is turning 1 on April the 4th, or I'm sorry, April the 2nd. Oh my gosh, she's gonna kill me. So here early next month, and I mean, she's just you know obviously grinding out through this whole last year, and then obviously the basketball season. I think any spouse or any significant other that's married to a coach or a boyfriend or whatever of a coach can understand and relate to the fact that it's long hours, man, and you got to have a strong woman, man, by your side in order to go through all the ups and downs and the different things you deal with. As an assistant coach, all the hats you wear, all the extra duties you have. As not, I mean, you're not just coaching. I mean, you're going to all the after school open nights. You're having to watch duty the soccer game or football game, or take the tickets at the baseball game. There's so many different things: setting up the concession, breaking it down, picking up the trash, doing laundry. I mean, what else? Putting the out list, communicating with teachers, checking grades. Um, I mean, just constant, paperwork, and then not to mention my job, the one that pays the bills, the sped part, the co-teach part. It's just you got to stay on top of your game, man, and you got to have a good support cast. Starts with your family, starts with your loved ones, the close ones around you. Uh, as long as that's okay, in the end, That's all you have. So you're gonna be all right, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, shoot, I'm not. I mean, shoot, we work together, so uh, you know, I'm still a little rough around the edges sometimes, but
No, man, don't be
you
hard on
know,
yourself. Look, yeah.
it's a job that is always you're perfecting your craft, you're understanding what works, you're dealing with new things each and every year, right? New kids, and luckily I work with a lot of great guys, you know, a lot of great people. So
Yeah, there's a lot of great people there, man, and like you
100%,
said, Edison's is a really good school.
no
You
doubt,
know,
it's
um,
enjoyable for sure.
when you think about it, man, like there's a lot of great things that are going on there, that have been going on there. You know,
Mhm.
uh, but you know what, man? We'll come back another night,
Yeah, man.
maybe over the summer. Talk
Okay.
about what it's like over the summer.
Yeah.
And Mitch, I just really appreciate you getting on here, man.
No, no
You
doubt,
know,
man. I
uh,
appreciate the opportunity, man. You had me sweating over here, and like, man,
that
it's
was
I
that was
appreciate it.
fun
It's
though.
fun. Yeah, yeah, it was fun. It
Yeah,
was a lot of fun, man.
yeah.
Uh,
All right, everyone. So we're out like a scout tonight,
yes, sir.
and and thanks for watching TAN TV, African American Network with a local feel.